What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and it is a new month, so it's time to do a recap of last month's 4K and Blu-ray pickups. Man, I am so happy that these videos have been a success. Shout out to all the collectors who come through and watch this video and even have conversations in the comments. Make sure to let me know what y'all picked up last month. And enough talking, let's just get into what I bought. So first thing is the Steelbook from Best Buy of Christine. And the crazy part about this is, right, I don't own this movie, but I literally had the epiphany, like, you know, I need to buy Christine because I do like it. And I just want to own all the classics. And I was thinking, like, I need to find a special version of Steelbook. Walked into Best Buy, and sure enough, this was sitting right there waiting for me. And I caught it on sale. I think it was only $15. So I figured, like, why not cop it, you know? I'm a fan of how this art looks. I think it's like an animation, not animation, it's kind of like a drawing. And it's just a really sleek looking Steelbook. Like, it's kind of matte, and it just, I don't know, I love it, man. And while I was in Best Buy, I picked up Moonfall. It's a film that came out last year, I believe. It's about the moon falling, literally, and a group of astronauts have to go and stop it. Now, this movie is not the greatest. I didn't even review it because I didn't see it literally until last year on my birthday, as a matter of fact, and I actually liked it. It's not the greatest film, but it just reminded me of one of those movies like Armageddon or what you would see with a disaster film, but just in the 2020s, you know what I mean? And I like Patrick Wilson as an actor, and of course I like Halle Berry, so I was like, I'll check it out. And funny thing about it, it was on sale at Best Buy for like $6, so I was like, why not? I just had to get it. Another film that was on sale, Thor: Love and Thunder. I do know some people didn't like this film, but I actually enjoyed Love and Thunder. It's weird because I wasn't a huge fan of Ragnarok, and this in some ways was sillier, but it just worked for me. And then it was on sale for $13, and I like the slipcover. Like, again, like Wakanda Forever. This came out before that, but I like how they're just extending the art the entire way instead of like having a little, you know, black or like red line, you know, section right there for Blu-ray. So I figured I'd pick this up, you know, I enjoy it. And I think Jane is the one that saved it for me. Like, I like this movie because of Jane Foster's store, so had to get that for cheap. Another film, a Shudder original, super dope. Christmas Bloody Christmas, excuse me. This is a Shudder original, and I had it on my calendar of releasing, but I kind of forgot until it showed up, and I was like, this not gonna come with slipcover, so I'm not gonna buy it. Like, I'm a slipcover guy, for those who don't know. My movies gotta have a slipcover, or chances are I might not even buy the joint. But this was in Best Buy too for $12, and I really like this slipcover. I'm gonna say slipcover a lot, just a heads up. And it's just this dope movie. This is like Terminator Santa Claus, pretty much. This city has an animatronic Santa Claus in one of their gift shops, and it's made by the army, and some shit happens the way it goes wrong, and it's literally just killing the shit out of people. This is definitely going to be a Christmas horror movie that I watch every year, and now that I own it, I'm definitely going to watch it even more. So next up that I picked up from Best Buy, Megan, the unrated version. I guess you could say this is kind of my first official 2023 pickup, because I had sick over there, but yeah, I love this movie. This movie's great. I've seen it literally like 3 or 4 times since it's released. I watched it once in cinemas, and then when it hit digital, I watched it again, and then the unrated version dropped, and I watched that, which I think the unrated version is better. Not like a ton better, like it's a completely different movie, but I can say like the added gore and violence amped it up a little bit for me. I did a whole review on the unrated version, so if you're interested to see what that's about, go ahead and watch that on my channel. But I had to pick Megan up day one. I really like this art too. Another one I picked up at Best Buy, Plane. Now, this movie I have not seen, but it's Gerard Butler doing what he does, man. Like, he's one of those dudes that if I see a new movie from Gerard, I'm gonna watch it because I know it's gonna be up my alley. There was a recent one that released on Netflix. Was it last year? Or was it earlier this year? I gotta look. I forgot what it was. But it was something about his wife went missing. And again, it's another one. It worked for me, you know? I think he has definitely found his lane of what works, and these kind of action movies that are like on a smaller scale work in his favor. Michael Coulter's in it, and the trailer really caught me when I saw it, because I was gonna watch it on Amazon. It's on Amazon too. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks like my type of shit. So I'm just gonna wait it out and watch it this weekend. So if you have seen the movie Plane, let me know what you think about it. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be one of my favorites of the year. And I really like this slipcover. I like how this looks. This color is dope. And another extension of the artwork instead of breaking it up here. I really like that they're doing that with this art now. It's not a startup instead of breaking it up. The last thing I picked up from the store is the Holy Grail. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Ooh, the John Wick Chapter 1 and 3, the Stash book. This is so hard. Oh my God. Like, this art, man. Jesus Christ. This Chapter 1 through 3. And the crazy part about this is I went into the store, I think, to buy another movie, and I saw this, right? And I was like, you know what? I was gonna buy it. I was like, I don't like this, and there was only 2 left in Best Buy. I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait for the box set with 4 movies, because I know once John Wick 4 drops, they're gonna make another version of this with like all 4 movies, or just a different type of version of it. And after seeing John Wick 4 over last weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick this shit up, because these movies have earned a different space before. Like I loved them before Chapter 4. Like I loved all of them. I actually own the 3 movies by themselves, but John Wick 4 made this one of my favorite franchises, period, because what they did with that movie is incredible. So long story short, as soon as I got out of John Wick 4, I Googled like, all right, trilogy set for John Wick Chapter 4, and they're gonna release a special edition one set for John Wick 4. It's gonna be like a box set. It's gonna have like playing cards. It's gonna have a marker in it. It's gonna have a map of Paris and all this other stuff. And I was like, you know what? Chapter 4 deserves its own film. So what I'm gonna do is buy Chapter 4, which I pre-ordered, and I'm gonna go back and buy this Chapter 1 through 3 set, because this art is so dope. It looks like a Bible. And I still kept this thing on here for the moment to show it off, because I don't think you would know it's John Wick without it, because you can remove this and you don't really know what the hell this is if I didn't tell you. So for the moment, I'm keeping this on here just because I like how it really looks. In the back, you can see the details of what it is. It's 3 steel books and booklets about Wick and the whole thing they got going. And yeah, this is just absolute fire. So that was the last of things that I picked up from stores, and we're gonna get into my orders now. First on the list is Iron Number 4. Woo, wait, I love this film. I had it on DVD, but I just never upgraded, and I'm pretty sure there could be a 4K. I didn't really look, but I found this on eBay, and this thing is like brand spanking new. Like the quality of this is really good. I was surprised to have found it in a slipcover, but I remember when this thing released, it was one of my favorite movies for like a good year or two. Just I love the superpowers that aren't based on comic books or anything, and this is definitely nostalgia. I might watch this weekend. Next is Disturbing Behavior. This is a 90s teen scream. It's almost like Revenge of the Body Snatchers. That's probably the best way I can describe it. But I love this movie. It speaks of the time. I think it was released in, let me see, I think it was 98. Yep, released in 98. And this was one that was, I guess, what do they call them again? Another boutique label, Blu-ray with the slip cover, and looks just like the poster. This movie's like everywhere. You can find it on like Tubi or one of the free apps or one of the ones they're paying for. But I'm like, I had to own it, because all of the shit that I really love, I gotta own. I don't give a damn. Because that's one thing that I do with my collection is I buy movies that I like or love. I don't just buy shit just for the sake of buying it. This is not what I do. So Disturbing Behavior, dope film. Now next, I had to get this. I had it on DVD again, another upgrade, Fear. And look at that slipcover. Oh my Lord, this is hard. Like, I remember I showed this to my man Film Fiends, right? And he was like, yo, is that a VHS tape? And I was like, no sir, it's just a slipcover. So like, you see that? I ain't even cracked this bad boy open, but the slipcover is designed to look like a VHS tape. I just had to take it out so y'all could see. And this is called the VHS series. If you Google VHS series Blu-rays, you can find a whole bunch of them. They do more than just horror. They don't even have a lot of horror films, but the fact that they have Fear, this is another one of my favorite teen screams. Takes place in '96. It helped usher in the whole vibe of the '96 energy, like with Scream and with Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Like all of those movies set the tone for the rest of the 90s, and this is one of them. If you've never seen Fear, you have to see it. Mark Wahlberg is fucking crazy. It takes place in California in the fall, and he's just an obsessed boyfriend that takes things way too far. But this artwork and this slipcover, had to buy it, and it was only like $10, I believe. So next, this is another VHS exclusive, VHS cover, VHS style Blu-ray. It's an 80s movie called Happy Birthday to Me. This is a film about a girl who has a birthday, obviously. She has an accident early on in her life, like maybe some years ago, and she has to have surgery, and she doesn't recollect what's going on. And as the movie goes on, pieces of what happened during that accident start to come back to her. And while this is happening, a killer's on the loose, killing a bunch of kids who she goes to school with. This is an 80s theme screen. If you like 80s horror films, you know what to expect from this. This is a classic 80s type slasher that I know not many people have heard of, but I think this is also on Tubi or one of them websites, and it's definitely worth the watch, again, if you are a fan of this type of stuff. Another one is the Vestron video collector series. This is Return of the Living Dead 3. Now, my favorite boutique label of them all. The rest of these are pretty much those, so let's get into it. Dog Soldiers. Wow. This is a phenomenal werewolf movie. Had to buy the collector's edition. It's about these soldiers who go into territory. I forgot who they're supposed to be facing, but they end up going against a pack of wolves, and it's all-out war against these wolves. It's action-packed. It's scary. It has great practical effects. All around great film. If you've never seen this movie, make sure to go see it. I don't know what streaming it's on, but this is a must-watch if you like creature features. There's nothing really like it, honestly. And Scream Factory can do no wrong with me, man. Like, I damn near want to buy all of their films just because of how dope this art looks. Love Scream Factory, aka Shout Factory. Next is the 4K Alligator. I needed to get the slipcover. They had it at Best Buy. That's why I bought a lot of those movies at Best Buy, because I went there with this in mind, because they did have it, but they had a version without the slipcover, and I'm like, nah, fam, I'm not doing that. I need this one. So I ordered it, and this is one of the best creature features. Love it. Absolute carnage. A bunch of fun. Oh man, this is so good. I don't think it gets spoken about enough. And it was one of those ones that I never owned, but I've seen it and I just like it because it was on like Sci-Fi or some shit like that. But Alligator. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This is a dope movie. It's a found footage type movie, and it follows this guy named Leslie Vernon. It's this news crew that goes to find Leslie Vernon, who is a serial killer, and he grew up watching all of the great slashers and got inspiration by them to be a slasher himself. And literally what I said, the news crews who's asking him about how he kills, and it's like a day in the life. They're following him around to see him, how he prepares for kills and all of this stuff. And it's very satirical, but it is a shit ton of fun, man. And I had to get it again. Scream Factory coming in with the great slipcover art. If you've never seen this movie, give it a watch. It's on one of the free networks. I forgot which one that I saw it the other day, and I was gonna watch it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna crack this bad boy open instead to watch it. And it's released in 2007. So if you like these kind of films from back then, it has the same energy, and it's a lot of fun. Next is one that just came out as well. Dead Silence, the 4K. This movie, I love it. James Wan delivered a classic horror film with this one. I have the poster too, because I bought it off of Shout Factory, because I think this is the first time they released a 4K with two slipcovers. There's a slipcover that came with it that looks like this, and it came with this extra one with the actual art. And I preferred this than the other one because this just has a lot more character than just the finger up. But this is another one. If you haven't seen this movie, give it a watch because it works. It's about a dummy that comes to life and is controlled by, as you can see right here, this lady. And I don't want to give too much more away, but if you've seen this movie, you know what it's about, and I just love it. Now, My favorite purchase this month, without a doubt, that I have been waiting to get, and I finally got it. I can ascend into the horror heavens. I got it. Ooh-wee. This is the box set of all of the Halloween movies prior to the new trilogy. I just had to get it. I felt like I was betraying my love for Halloween because I would look at my videos and I would see my Jason one, which I love, Friday the 13th. And I'm like, how am I gonna have the Jason Friday the 13th box set, but I don't have Halloween, fam? Are you kidding me? So all the Blu-rays in here. Oh man, I remember when this thing got sent in and I picked it up and I opened it. I literally gave it a hug, like, finally I got you. The 15 disc collection. Curse of Michael Myers, the producer's cut is in here. Halloween 1 and 2, I think both, the Rob Zombie version, I think both of them come with the director's cuts. One or two of these more has an extra disc in it, but I just had to get this, man. I just love this. Oh man, I'm so happy when I got this. Like, I was gonna wait till later to buy it, but I found it for a steal and said, fuck it. Let me go ahead and snatch that up. So, Halloween. Shout out to Scream Factory again. Jesus, they just do the Lord's work when it comes to horror films. So, that's my collection. Let me know in the comments which out of my collection do you like most. Let me know what you bought, or let me know what your favorite pickup was last month. And as usual, if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already. If you are subscribed, thank you for watching, and it helps my channel out. And until next time, peace. RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy.